Welcome. At the Jewish Seniors Alliance, we believe the strongest health care begins at home, where seniors feel safest. This is Eileen and Gary Record. 2 or 3 hours of daily help lets Gary stay on his feet. Yet the co-pays stretch their fixed income. Endless forms and fees steal the moments they'd rather share together. Home support keeps Gary steady, yet the fee costs them almost $20,000 a year. While the aid helps Gary, Eileen spends her nights at the table, calculator clicking, filing form after form, just to keep the bills at bay. Home support lets Gary still walk the park arm in arm with Eileen. Back home, the numbers sting. Their pensions are classed as passive income, so they lose the 25,000 earned income buffer, and fees increase quickly. Only taxable income matters. Active wage earners get a $25,000 cushion before any fee. Pensions and dividends push fees up fast. Only the very poorest pay zero. Middle-income couples like Gary and Eileen end up paying the most just to stay at home. Watch the fee curve. At up to $48,000 in annual household income, home support costs around $40 a day. Cross that line, and it jumps to $50,000, then climbs to almost $65,000 yearly. Long-term care flips the formula. Residents hand over 80% of after-tax income, anywhere from $44 to $134 a day, and still pay extras like phone and haircuts. The result: middle-income seniors face higher costs sooner at home than they would in a full-service facility, pushing them toward the pricier option. One day, Gary took a fall. It wasn't serious, but it was enough to send him to the hospital. For the first time in years, Eileen found herself alone in the house. The quiet felt unfamiliar, like something was missing. A few days later, the call came. A nursing home bed was available. Some said it would be the financially practical choice, maybe even the safer one. But Eileen knew what Gary would want. Not the easiest path, just the one that felt right. So she brought Gary home, because home meant comfort. It meant dignity. And being together still mattered most. Like most seniors, they weren't asking for anything extraordinary, just the chance to stay in the place they knew best and to face what's next, side by side. Right now, British Columbia is short over 3,000 long-term care beds, and that gap is only going to grow. If nothing changes, the province will need more than 27,000 additional beds by the year 2040. That's not a slow increase. That's a crisis in the making. And building those beds isn't cheap. It costs over $1 million just to build a single long-term care bed. And the operating costs on top of that keep growing, making this an expensive and unsustainable solution to the aging seniors crisis. Now imagine that same investment used differently. With the same budget, we could support multiple seniors at home, where they want to be, where outcomes are often better, and where the costs are significantly lower. This next chart shows the real break point. It costs the government less to support a senior at home, right up until they need about 5 to 5.5 hours of care per day. That's the tipping point. Before that, home support is clearly more affordable than a long-term care bed. And even beyond that mark, the difference isn't dramatic, but the outcome is. With home care, seniors stay in familiar surroundings. They remain connected to their communities, and the province avoids spending on infrastructure it may never catch up with. This time, Gary was able to come home. He's recovering, and for now, he's where he wants to be. But no one knows what comes next. So they hold on to the things that matter: coffee in the morning, meals at the kitchen table, a game of checkers, a laugh in the car, a visit from the grandkids. They're still part of family life, still walking their familiar path, side by side. These aren't extras. They're what make life feel like life. And with the right support, Gary and Eileen can stay where they belong. The next step is clear: zero copay for home support. It would save seniors $40 million a year, save the province $75 million in annual care costs, and avoid $27 billion in long-term care construction. It's fair, it's cost-effective, and it keeps people like Gary and Eileen where they belong, at home. The Jewish Seniors Alliance, the BC Health Coalition, and Costco are united in asking for your support. Let's make this change together.